Because Gamble Oak is so overgrown in so many places in Douglas County, a process called machine mastication is the easiest, most cost-effective way to thin it out.
So they go in and create openings, and then I go in and say, hey, you need to take more here, you need to do handwork here, and then at the end they do a final cleanup where they go in over that material a couple of times to break it down as much as possible.
Recent wildfires proved that community-wide efforts like the one going on here at Keene Ranch are immensely beneficial during a fire. This work is being done through a cost-sharing grant, with homeowners paying half.
It currently involves 108 individual landowners, and we're hoping to mitigate 200 to 350 acres.
Creating gaps among vegetation helps to keep fires smaller and less intense.
And the fact of the matter is that if they did good mitigation, not only are they really increasing the odds that their home can survive, but they're also producing an environment that's safer for firefighters to operate in.
We tend to only engage a wildland fire if it's 8-foot flame lengths or less, and it's really all about just radiant heat. Anything more than that gets way too hot to stand close to.
Pretty hot up here right around.
Breaking up the oceans of Gamble Oak also pays dividends in other ways.
Once we open it up, those folks are like, wow, I have that much more acreage, and hey, we can actually use our property. But we also want to respect that, hey, we moved out here, I don't want to see my neighbor next door or their hot tub or whatever. So we work carefully with them in maintaining those privacy barriers.
Just as in a vegetable garden, thinning out oak improves the health of the remaining plants. Plus, it allows wildflowers and wildlife to make use of the open areas.
When you take it as a whole, that we're reducing the threat to this ecosystem from wildfire and reducing the threat from insects and disease, and there are some wildlife benefits, it makes it a pretty positive thing to be doing.
Though group efforts are encouraged, mitigation on individual lots can also pay off.
This house was in the path of the Black Forest fire. The fire burned completely across our property. There were no firefighters at my house as the fire passed. So our house survived the fire based on the work we had already done to help it survive. As the fire came across,
the principle that saved this property is the same whether you live among pines, Gamble Oak, or a mix. Thinned and properly spaced vegetation can change a huge fire into a small one. Less fuel means less fire and less destruction.
I think the thinning we did in the years before the fire definitely helped most of our land survive this fire. It saved most of our trees. It saved our house. Even in the areas of our land where every tree burned, the grasses and the wildflowers and the small shrubs are coming back.
Remember, under the right conditions, just one spark can create a wildfire. Know the danger and reduce your risk.